yeah, we're just trying to win every game.
Gambit, one step closer to the playoff.
Yes!
And not think about like how big the match matters.
We beat Origin once already, and right now we can beat them and secure ourselves the spot.
And Rocket keep their playoff hopes alive.
We've been struggling a bit, but we're obviously still aiming to take the playoff spot.
The last couple of weeks we have actually been doing pretty well.
The Nexus is going down and Elements come up with the win.
And we actually have a very good chance of going into playoffs.
Team mindset is really, really good. I think that's exactly what's allowing us to win so many games in a row.
Fnatic with another win.
A simple mistake is enough for Fnatic to say, okay, there were the one mistake we were looking for. We're now going to take over the game, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final day of the 2015 European LCS Summer Split. We're broadcasting around the world from our studio in Berlin, Germany. And man, are people excited right here in the studio, as were the people where they were outside just a couple of minutes ago, taking some sun and some energy before the games today. They're the Giants, knowing how important that very first matchup of the day is for them to keep their playoff hopes alive, as well as the Copenhagen Wolves, still not out of it yet, hanging on by a thread here. I'm EpicSkillshot today here with former LCS jungler and world champion Lauri Cyanide Happanen, as well as Mitch Greppel Voorspoels and Trevor Quickshot Henry, as we cover the last 5 regularly scheduled games of the 2015 Summer Split. Now, before we get started, we'd like to congratulate SK Telecom T1 of Korea's LCK on being the first team to qualify for Worlds 2015. We'll see them in Paris, of course.
We definitely will. I don't think anyone's shocked by that, but what was shocking is the fact that they ended up losing the series. I'm sorry, spoilers, go watch it, it's fantastic. But the fact that they picked up at least one win in their best of 3, they're going to Worlds.
Yeah. Does this mean Fnatic might lose today as well?
Ooh, I don't know. Cast a curse. If it happens, might be your fault.
Oh, God. Focusing back in on Europe with 8.5 weeks behind us, here's where the teams stand on the brink of the summer's playoffs. Of course, Fnatic, Origin, H2K, and since yesterday, also the Unicorns of Love have locked in their face in the playoffs.
But yeah, then you have Elements, Gambit, Gaming, Giants, and Rocket. So yeah, either today you win, or you become a convenience store.
I'm going to be looking at the bottom of the standings between Copenhagen Wolves and SK. Both of them have super important battles, and it is actually possible for one of our tiebreaker scenarios to be between the Wolves and SK for that automatic relegation spot. Much like Spring Split, where it was MYM and Giants, we'll see if it's going to be SK and Wolves today.
Yeah, that would be incredibly exciting, but stressful for the players involved. Of course, let's pull up the bracket and see what's on the line towards the top of the table. As said yesterday, the Unicorns of Love have locked in that 4th seed. They cannot move out of that one, so on the side of Fnatic's bracket, what else are you looking for in this playoff bracket?
Yeah, and this is where you want to decide. Like, some teams say 6th place is kind of better in theory, but then if you go 5th place, you have an easier match against the Unicorns, but you run into Fnatic. If you go 6th, you might just drop out of the tournament immediately, so there's no winners really here, but every team almost wants to go to the semifinals, eventually the finals in Stockholm, but with Fnatic in one semifinal, Origin in the second, I don't see many teams actually getting past there.
Yeah, it depends, of course, where your ambitions lay. Like, if you want to make it to the finals, then the bottom bracket looks a bit more delightful in that aspect. But then, yeah, if you just want to go to the semis, then the top half is the one for you.
Yeah, but most teams just want to make it to playoffs. And yesterday we saw the Wolves doing whatever it took to win over Rocket to keep their LCS hopes alive. At Tacos of Sarcasm tweeted, Expeke is probably jealous of that play by Lenny. Here's your LCS big play of the day.
They will not end. Fast. Just run.
They will rush the Nexus.
Just run.
The Copenhagen Wolves are on the brink of being eliminated from the LCS, and they may be picking up the win that keeps them alive. Lenny, can you do it?
Lenny.
Bob.
It was a scary play, but Lenny backdoored. Keeps Wolves.
To be fair, if Lenny died there were 4 more people coming to storm the Nexus for like 2 more hits, so I think they would have actually finished it off.
It's all on Lenny, man.
But it was Lenny.
Of all the funny sounds we heard yesterday, Lenny, that's another new one. Well, if there was ever time for more big plays, it is today as the Copenhagen Wolves, they face Giants. That's our first match of the day. And, well, immediately, incredibly important matchup for the Wolves and Giants.
So the Wolves have to win this, first of all, because they want to try force that tiebreaker. Giants, on the other hand, are looking to lock in playoffs. It's the same story for SK. If SK pick up a victory over Elements, it means SK are safe in the promotion tournament. I can't believe I'm using those words together. But if Elements win, obviously, they go to playoffs too.
Yeah, and then, of course, Fnatic versus the Unicorns of Love is the last game of the day. I mean, I don't want to jinx it again. I just hope it'll be a good matchup, knowing that these both teams have nothing to lose in a way, but Fnatic wants that 18-0.
Yeah, a lot of fans here as well in Fnatic shirts, and whenever we talk to them, you know, like, is it going to happen? And one of them came up, it's like 18-0, no longer the dream, 18-0 the reality. So a lot of the fans are confident right now, but the Unicorns have caused upsets in the past.
And it's interesting to see how these teams that have locked in their places in the playoffs will perform. Because for Fnatic, Origin, HCK, and UOL, 1, 2, 3, 4, they've actually got nothing to lose today. Today is just a stress-free day, and for bragging rights, as well as heartbreak, because they can determine their opponent's fates.
Yeah, well, those are our best matches, of course. And with the playoffs on everyone's mind this week, we want to get your thoughts. Hop on Twitter and tell us which team is best prepared for the playoffs, best of fives, and why. Lodi?
Well, of course, like the teams that have done very well in the past weeks will be feeling more confident going into the playoffs. Like Fnatic, for example, I don't think they have any like troubles imagining winning the entire thing. But of course, there is like the immense pressure as well. Like, what if we drop this? Then it's all for nothing that we win 18-0, you know. So, or well, 17-0 for the time being. But
good recovery.
17-1 is still a decent record at the least. But yeah, I'm looking at Origin with those experienced members in the likes of Expect, you know, being a team captain, having the ability to lead your team through the playoffs, as well as Unicorns. We kind of wrote them off last season, you know, wishy-washy, up and down, but in the playoffs in the best of 5, that actually played to their strengths. I don't think it'll be exactly the same case this split, but I think it's too early to write them out already.
Yeah, we will see what happens. Well, send your responses at LL Esports and be sure to include that hashtag LCS so we can check out your answers later today. And now, as we head to the caster desk for a look at our first game, we'll hear what drives the Wolves' Soren despite his team's lackluster split.
Well, I think for me personally, I play because I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve yet, and that is being one of the best at my role in the region. This split we have suffered a lot because our team synergy wasn't that great, and it was really hard to look good when your team wasn't doing well and you weren't doing well together.
He wants to be the very best, like no one ever